Hello and welcome back to the railway. This week we're going to have a look at a model that only appeared in the catalogue in 1966, and this was the first Hornby catalogue. Now she's model number R.2235 and she's the beautiful Southern Railways West Country class locomotive named Barnstaple. But firstly we'll follow this beautiful electric locomotive back into the sidings here. She's model number R753 and was available between 1966 and 70 in a number of different liveries. Beautiful shot coming to a stop there in the sidings. And we'll switch point 18 there and rotate the turntable clockwise. There we go, and then we'll bring out Barnstaple from the engine shed. A slight stutter there as she climbs onto the turntable. And we'll rotate counterclockwise and gently away. Again, a slight stutter. It's quite a long wheelbase on this model and she just rocks on that centre drive wheel. Away into the distance there, behind the station. From what I've read, this Hornby Dublo model, number R2235, was first available in 1961 and she was named Barnstaple. Now there was a 3-rail variant, number R3235, and she was named Dorchester. One of the biggest problems trying to use both these systems together was the couplings. Trying Railways and Hornby Dublo both had different couplings. So in 1966, when all these systems came together, Trying came up with the converter wagon, which was an open wagon with a Hornby Dublo coupling on the one end and the Trying Railways decoupling on the other. Well, this was available from 66 to 69, but wasn't really suitable for a passenger train. So we had to wait till 1967 for the Horsebox converter wagon, model number R578, and this was also available up until 1969.
I thought we'd just have a look at the weight of this model. It's seriously heavy. It's nearly 300 grams heavier than Trying's Winston Churchill. It really is a heavy beast. Now that causes quite a lot of problems with my suspension bridge. It does look like it's going to snap, so I think I'll be minimising the running of this. I think we'll just keep her off the elevated section. She really is quite a pretty thing, and she's cast in metal, remember, although the tender is made of plastic apart from the base, which is metal. I was quite surprised. I'd expected it to be a metal tender. Lovely wire handrails, even on the smoke deflectors. We have a little loss of lining here and there, nothing too bad. We've got the terrific valve gear, and I just love these bullied wheels. They are plated. Lovely name and crest here, Barnstaple, printed in red and yellow. Lots of lovely detail on the smoke box door here, and the running number there, 34005. Buffer beam is quite plain, although this hook is separately fitted and the buffers are picked out in silver. We've got plenty of suspension detail here, a tiny bit of lining loss on the cab sides, great windows, all sorts of detail moulded into here. Remember, this is cast in metal, not plastic. We have further detail across the top of the cab roof, and looking into the tender we can see we've got quite a lot of detail in here. Looking from slightly above here, we can see on the inside of the smoke deflector, we can see where the wire handrail comes through the metalwork. Looking further along, we've got this lovely chimney with a screw right down the centre of it to hold the body onto the chassis. And we've got a riveted plate, we've got riveted detail around here, and again this lovely orange lining, tiny bit of loss here and there. Not sure what these items are. And again, back to the safety valves, and we've got this great bit of pipe work, part of the casting there, right the way back to the cab, and we've got this lovely hatch moulded into the cab roof there. On the other side of the model we do have some additional detail in the casting. We've got more pipe work here, some fine stuff just in there, and this wonderful one running right the way along the boiler there. I really do like this model. The buffer beam is very plain and it has the buffers picked out in silver. We've got the Hornby Dublo coupling here and a metal ladder fitted on the back. Lots of detail up the back edge here. Fine detail around these hatches on the top of the tender, and what must be a water filler here. And we've got lovely fine coal here, but it is a little on the dusty side. Now the lining has worn a little bit and it is slightly faded. There is some suspension detail in the metal casting for the chassis here. Looking from the other side of the tender here, we can really see the fine detail on the underframe there. Lovely suspension detail. We've got these lovely windows in the tender edge here, down the side so that the driver can see as he went backwards. We've got a little more loss of lining on here, and it is quite faded or possibly just worn away from handling. I've just separated tender and locomotive. But looking at the back here, we can see this huge motor sticking out the back of the cab there. We've got this lovely drawbar sticking through this metal plate and two great big flathead screws either side securing it. Looking at the back edge of the tender, it's full of detail. Remember, this is moulded in plastic, not metal, so they've achieved some finer detailing here than could be achieved on this metal casting for the locomotive. Just having a slightly closer look at these really terrific wheels. There really is fantastic detail in these, and the valve gear really is beautiful. Really is a lot finer than the trying models of the same era from 1961. We'll just roll that over and have a look at the underside there. We've got a collection plate, lovely screws holding it on, and here we've got a collection spring just in there, and this beautiful machined cog here, this drive cog which goes up to the motor, and it's held on with a little grub screw. I don't know whether you can see that. This really is terrific engineering. We've got a beautiful screw here holding on the rear truck, and the rear truck is separate to the drawbar. It floats through it. It's secured to the same point though. And then we have these lovely screws here holding the cast body onto the chassis. So we have two screws here, one screw down the chimney, so there's no way this thing's coming off. And this front bogie again secured with a lovely machine screw here. And we've got those bullied wheels on the bogie as well. Let's see if we can have a look at those. There we go. Really quite pretty. And we'll just pop that down. Looking at the underside of the tender, we can see we've got plastic wheels and the centre ones are flangeless. We've got this lovely suspension detail as we pointed out before, and this is a metal chassis. The frame that holds the wheels is fitted separately, and that has a screw here which I don't think is original. I think it's been replaced at some point in the past, and we've got Hornby Dublo's name there. We've got Made in England hiding down here, and Meccano Limited. And here's the Hornby Dublo coupling, which is sadly missing a part, which would prevent it from using Hornby Dublo's automatic uncouplers, but that's not really an issue for me. Like all models from this period, including the trying models, these were designed to be taken apart from time to time for maintenance and cleaning and so on. Just look at the materials used in here. It really is a fine thing. You can see why they got into financial difficulties trying to mass produce these. Just look at the size of that Ringfield motor back there. It's enormous. Let's come over the top here and we can see the shaft off the armature there. And if I come around, you can just begin to see the wiring on the segments there on the armature. Wonderful thing. We'll just have a quick look at the body moulding whilst we've got it removed from the chassis. It really is quite a nice thing. Look at the overspray and the painting there, and the way the red paint's been put onto the buffer beam. Lead paint, no doubt. See that separately fitted hook there. And here we can see where the smoke deflectors have been fitted into the casting. And what I hadn't first realised was these, where the nameplates were fitted, they're separately fitted. I hadn't realised they were separately fitted. We've got Hornby Dublo, Meccano Limited, Made in England. We've got these lovely tapped holes here for the screws. They hold the chassis in there, and these two hold the plate on the back that the drawbar comes through. And we can see those ties there that hold the handrails in place. We've got the Hornby Dublo 2-rail box. So when Triang took over Hornby Dublo, they had a number of items they had to get rid of, lots of stock left over, and they just put the new company name sticker on the boxes, Triang Hornby, and these were sold off. So this model just appeared in the catalogue, as far as I can tell, in 1966. I'm not quite sure how long this old stock lasted. I imagine some of it may have sat around in dealers for a number of years. To try and encourage more sales, I think, and those who already had Hornby Dublo models, to integrate into the Triang system, they came up with this, the Horsebox converter wagon. There was another converter wagon which is based on the open wagon, but this is the Horsebox version. They seem to have gone to a lot of trouble with the box. We have this terrific illustration on the back here. We've got the Hornby Dublo coupling on the one end, and a trying D-shaped coupling on the other end. So it looks like they were planning on selling quite a few of these to have gone to so much trouble with this box. It came with some instructions. Here we go. And this covered both types of wagon, the coal truck and the Horsebox. So it just looks like trying standard Horsebox wagon really. It's got lovely planking detail and hinges and latches and things. Got some great windows, but it doesn't have glazing. I'll turn it around with some interesting detail. Perhaps steps or grab handles up the side, and we can see the grey plastic roof is clipped into the main part of the body there. There's not a great deal of detail on the roof. The other side's very similar. We've got the running number of B547. It has the open axle boxes, it's a metal chassis. We've got sleeved wheels. As you can see, that sort of braking and underframe detail here. So here we have Triang's D-shaped coupling here. And on the other end, we've got the Hornby Dublo coupling. So this would link the two systems together. As I say, they made an open wagon with the same principle, but I think we'll save that one for another day. Following the Horsebox converter wagon, we've got this utility van in green livery, and it's the running number S2355S, and it was model number R.2235, available 1958 to 62. Then we have the Southern Composite coach, running number S15034, and that was R221, available 57 to 62. The restaurant car was available 58 to 62 and was model number R229, has a running number here of S1007. Following up with the brake, we've got a running number of S34245, and that was model number R220. Now we do have seating fitted in these. I'll just pick up the composite coach. We can see this one from the corridor side. And if I flip that over, we can see the seating detail there through the windows, although the reflection's quite difficult to see there. We'll just pop that down. Restaurant car has great detail in there. We've got set tables and great orange curtains in the windows there. And we'll just have a quick look at the brake. Again, looking in there from the seating side, and if we flip that over, we can see the corridor detail through the windows here. We'll just pop these down. All of these 9-inch coaches have different roof detail. Here we've got the utility van, has ventilators down the centre, and it has these rain strips above the doors. Here we have the composite coach, a ribbed roof with lots of ventilators, is a little bit grubby. The composite and the restaurant and the brake all have bowed ends, and the utility van had flat ends. The restaurant car has a great deal of detail on the roof, ventilation units and so on, I imagine, for the cooking apparatus. And here we have the brake coach, which has periscopes. It also has the ribs, and it has ventilators running right down it. Looking at the underside of these coaches, they look pretty much identical. We have open axle boxes on all of them, and sleeved wheels. We'll just lift up the utility van and have a look at it. Underframe detail is the same on the utility van as it is on the other 3 coaches. And here we can see we have the sleeved wheels and open axle boxes. Looking at the ends of these coaches, it's the utility van which has the different end. We seem to have planking detail on here, and we have the corridor connection too. They all have metal buffers and a D-shaped coupling.
Time for one more run around the track. Look at that powerful motor there, pulling all those coaches up the hill. Effortless. Now watch as she comes across the bridge, how much the bridge dips there. I think that's quite worrying. I don't want to do that too many times. I don't think the bridge is really made to take that much weight. And of course, with all that extra weight, it's a bit of a challenge coming down the incline here. It definitely picks up additional speed. Off we go. Under the incline section again, and around back past the station. Looking terrific with those southern coaches, I think. Now charging towards points number 8 there, the crossover onto the inside line. Moving smoothly through past the gasometer and the oil tank. We'll close those points behind her. Moving on past the turntable, now approaching the windmill and into the first radius curve. I think we'll bring her up to the station to a gentle stop, and I'll leave you this week with page 8 and 9 from the Hornby catalogue of 1966, the only year I think this model appeared in the catalogue. If you look back again next week, we'll have something else from this Hornby period. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye now.